Salutations, signal senders. Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for Season 2, Episode 10 of our XCOM 2 series. In our previous installment, Bravo Squad set down in Chile and infiltrated an Advent black site. They managed to get in and out before the situation got out of hand. Once back aboard the Avenger, we learned of a UFO that had landed in Chile. Charlie's squad is on deck and is preparing to assault that UFO. And that is exactly what we have slated for this episode. There's been much discussion lately among the members of Charlie's squad regarding their tactics. Blackwidow has challenged Seejay, putting in a request essentially, and reminding Seejay that in his time as a resistance fighter, Blackwidow devised multiple attacks on Advent installations that were successful and incurred very few casualties. Bearing this in mind, Seejay has agreed to take in Blackwidow's advice for this operation. Charlie's squad is, as always, commanded by John Clayton, codenamed Seejay, and he's bringing in the flashbang. Gary Hillsdale, codenamed Bard, bringing along the battle scanner. Dan Richards, codenamed Boot, bringing the mimic beacon or attention whore. And of course our newest member, Warren Silas, codenamed Mr. Vane. He's bringing the basic loadout. We're always joined by Thomas Trumpet, codenamed Titanium, bringing the med kit. And last but not least, Troy Black, codenamed Blackwidow, bringing the frost bomb. There you have it, Charlie squad as it stands. Charlie, you may board when ready.
Sky Ranger deployed.
We're in the pipe. 5x5.
Copy, Firebrand. Begin your descent.
A group of resistance operatives working out of this area managed to disable a grounded UFO. We're deploying near their last position to take control of the site. Neutralize all hostile contacts and seize whatever cargo you can get your hands on.
As you can see, Mr. Vane has decided not to wear his helmet, but he's not the only one deviating from Van Dorn's uniform mandate. Gary Hillsdale has decided to paint his face up with skull makeup, much like Zombie Wolf did, and he's doing this in honor of his late friend. Either way, CJ's okay with it. He just wants to maintain control, damn it. Charlie is boots on the ground. So here we are in rural Chile. And CJ kicks off this op by moving forward at a quick pace.
Enemy patrol on the move.
Now we've already spotted enemy personnel. A patrol consisting of a stun lancer, a trooper, and a muton. Now, as to the tactical advice Blackwidow has given to the squad leader, he has essentially asked him not to charge in headlong, instead to attempt to lure out the occupants of that UFO. And CJ has agreed to do so, though he has reminded Blackwidow that in the future, he's liable to go back to his preferred style of command. As you can see, Bard has posted up on top of this building. The rest of the squad is moving up by their squad leader. They're going to start by ambushing this patrol. To accomplish that, the squad will spread out a little bit. Bard has been ordered to fire the first shot. Mr. Vane will hold the right flank.
Eyes on the prize.
Blackwidow, the left flank. And everybody else will kind of fill in between. Let's see. Actually, they'll all go over to the right.
I'm on the move.
Seejay, just by this speed limit sign.
Eyes on the prize.
Boot, next to him.
Okay.
And Titanium will take CJ's former position.
Okay. Roger, I've got my eyes on it.
Now Bard will initiate this combat. He's aiming for the Muton. And it's a good hit.
Hard target, minimal damage. Cover's blown.
The enemy is on notice and springing to action. Muton is down, Trooper's down, Stun Lancer's down. Well, that was about as smooth as it gets. The patrol is wiped out, the board is clear. So now it's a matter of luring out the occupants of that UFO.
S2E10, we just picked up an outbound signal coming from the UFO. It's some kind of distress beacon. You need to get inside that ship and shut down the signal before they send their whole fleet after us.
And as you can see, a new issue has arisen. The enemy is calling in for reinforcements. So now CJ has to take that into consideration, getting inside and shutting down that signal. He's going to do so personally, but he's bringing along Boot. The plan being, CJ will accompany Boot to one of the UFO's points of entry, and Boot will peek his head inside and deploy his gremlin to shut down that signal.
Moving to position.
Once they achieve that, the two of them will fall back to the rest of the group.
Got it covered.
And in a sense, CJ is keeping his tactical agreement with Blackwidow, in that most of the squad is still back there on the highway.
Advent forces on the ground.
Okay, we've got 3 on the grid. 1 Advent officer, 1 Advent trooper, and a Stun Lancer. So most of these guys on the road are going to go into Overwatch. As to Blackwidow, actually, he's going to sidestep, keeping this tree in between himself and the emerging threat. Bard is going to take a shot, and he's aiming for the trooper. And it must have been a headshot because the trooper is no more. Titanium will go into Overwatch, as will Vane. As to CJ, he's going to advance by this door, and he'll go ahead and open it. Now, rather than going into Overwatch or firing a shot, he's going to hurl one of his hunter's axes at that Stun Lancer. And he inflicts severe injury. Nice. Okay, so now he's gonna take a shot, or actually, he'll go into Overwatch. Boot is gonna move up to the other side of that doorway, and he too will enter Overwatch.
On Overwatch.
Here comes the Advent officer. CJ takes a shot. No joy.
That is not good.
The officer returns fire, wounding CJ. Well, damn. Boot takes a reaction shot on the Stun Lancer, I believe, but it's a miss. The Stun Lancer hits CJ. Yeah, I think he did. And then he teleported? Am I the only one that saw that? Well, whatever he did. Yeah, it doesn't matter now because Blackwidow cut him down.
Target eliminated.
Okay, so Blackwidow will go into Overwatch. Bard will take another shot, this time at the officer. And he scores a hit.
Right on the margins.
Let's see. Titanium he's going to set about healing his old friend Seejay. So he'll deploy his gremlin to do that. And you know, he might just double down on that and send the gremlin out again.
Gremlin, get on the heels!
That'll bring CJ back up to full fighting strength. Excuse me. CJ is gonna take a shot at that officer. And he hits. The officer is still hanging on though. So Vane is gonna approach. And from an exposed position, he's gonna attempt to inflict the killing blow. Which he does.
Kill confirmed.
Welcome the Charlie Squad, Vane. Now, seeing as the board is clear, Boot is gonna make entry. He'll move in behind this good cover here. And he spotted the occupants of the UFO. 2 Vipers, 1 Muton.
Menace 1-5, that's the distress beacon. Move in and disable it before the aliens get a bead on the UFO.
He's also got eyes on the console emitting that signal, which is a good deal. Bad deal? This pod has eyes on him. So there's only one thing for it in my estimation. And that, my friends, is the attention whore. Boot is going to deploy the mimic beacon on the other side of this doorway, with the hopes that it creates an effective distraction.
Leave me alone!
After all, it's 3-on-1 in here, and Boot can use all the help he can get. The Muton is moving on the mimic beacon. That's exactly what we wanted.
Leave me alone!
And so is the Viper. The Viper tries to bound the mimic beacon. That doesn't work. But it appears that the Viper's not done. It's taking a shot.
Leave me alone!
And fortunately, the mimic beacon's still standing. That means this last Viper's going for it as well. And the mimic beacon is out of action. But the attention whore definitely served its purpose. It bought Boot the necessary time to disable that signal. And so Boot will set about doing that now. He'll deploy the gremlin. We're gonna go for the default. We don't need anything above and beyond. We just want to get this done. Oh, and we didn't get any additional benefits, but nonetheless, the beacon has been deactivated. That's all we really wanted.
We're good to go. We've knocked out the alien distress signal. Looks like the skies are quiet.
With that, Boot will make his egress. As to the folks on the road, they're going to reload, by and large, and go into Overwatch.
Ready to rock. Get some.
Same deal with Bard.
Ready to go. Got it covered.
Same with Titanium.
Rock and roll on Overwatch.
The exception may be Vane. He's got to find himself some cover. So, yeah, he's going to use his tree to his left.
Designated coordinates.
And he'll go into Overwatch. As to CJ, he is going to deploy the flashbang with the hopes of disorienting these 3.
Blinded him.
And that'll give him an opportunity to fall back to the rest of the squad. And not only did it disorient them, it did a little damage to Boot. Nice. So the Muton is opening fire on Seejay. It's a miss, as predicted. The Viper attempting to do the same. Yep, and it's another miss. Okay. Meanwhile, outside, these guys, Blackwidow goes into Overwatch. Bard, he's going to take a shot. He's aiming for one of the Vipers. It's a long shot. That don't matter none. It's a hit, and it's a kill. Now we have 2 on the grid. 1 Muton, 1 Viper. Titanium will go into Overwatch. Mr. Vane will reload and do likewise.
Ready to go. Affirmative, covering now.
Boot wants to put distance between himself and that doorway, so he will go around this corner and into Overwatch while on his way to regrouping with the rest of the squad. As to CJ, he's going to go into run and gun, get a little more distance, and he'll post up behind this tree. And of course, go into Overwatch. Here comes the Muton. Vane gets some reaction fire. No joy.
Negative damage.
Bullshit. Bullshit. How did that Viper shoot his poison through the walls of a spaceship?
I think I need some help.
Did I know from a previous mission with Charlie you can't destroy those walls with a hand grenade? It's a spaceship, so they're probably airtight, and yet somehow he can fire his poison through the damn thing and poison both CJ and Boot. That is bullshit. Okay. Bard is going for the Muton. No joy.
Missed the target.
And as you can see, Vane is under suppression fire. Blackwidow went into Overwatch. Titanium, do likewise. What to do about that? Well, anyhow, I know we want to get Boot and CJ out of that toxic cloud and have them reunite with the squad.
Good to go.
So we'll set about doing that. Well, perhaps he can throw a grenade. That would stop the suppression fire. But it just won't reach. You know, screw it. Yeah, he's just gonna go into Overwatch. And as to Boot, he's gonna move over into this median. Muton emerges from the saucer. Titanium opens fire, scores a hit.
Hard target, minimal damage.
Well, that Muton's just hanging on by a thread. It fires at and hits CJ, who is once again wounded. Here comes the Viper. Opens fire. Oh, damn! It just bounded Vane. Well, hell. We have to do something about that.
I'm hit.
Just when we got everybody clear of the UFO, someone is dragged back to it. Okay. Well, let's see. Bard is definitely taking a shot. come on, Bard. Damn.
I'll get him next
No
time.
luck. Vane is still bound. So let's see. We'll have, oh, yeah, there's not much titanium can do to help. Yeah. So, we're gonna have him set about healing, Seejay again. And, he'll probably heal Boot as well. So Seejay will remain wounded, but Titanium's only got 2 more charges in this thing, or 1 more charge at this point. And yeah, like I said, he's given that to Boot, and that'll bring Boot back up to full fighting strength. And so we might just have to have Seejay take it easy for the remainder of the op. Blackwidow will go into, well, actually, he is going to fire a grenade, thus removing that muton from the equation. Which he does, no sweat. Of course, that leaves our newest guy, Vane, in a bind. But now that he's healed up, Boot is going to move forward. And he's going to take a shot at that Viper with the hopes of freeing Vane. Damn. Okay, it's a miss.
Missed the target. Toss me some ammo.
Well, virtually everyone else has gone, so CJ's going to put his life on the line and come in close. In fact, he's going to get way up close and personal and set his people free. Well, there you have it.
Target neutralized.
Vane is going to seek nearby cover and go into Overwatch.
On Overwatch.
Hopefully nobody else shows up because, you know, CJ's not behind cover. He's just standing in that doorway. As to the forces back here, they're going to reload and go into Overwatch.
Ready to rock. I'm on it. Moving to Overwatch.
Meanwhile, CJ's going to get the hell out of there, reunite with his squad. And so too will Vane. Blackwidow will go into Overwatch. Same with Bard. Boot, he's gonna move back.
Seems doable.
So now we're dealing with long-range combat once more. We'll get Vane behind this full cover.
Come get some.
And I probably should have put CJ there, but oh well.
I'm on it. Picking up movement.
Okay, we can hear more enemies in the distance. It's just a matter of moving on them or getting their attention. And CJ is inclined to move on the enemy, but he's getting told by both Blackwidow and Titanium that he's done enough and he needs to fall back. Boot, having heard the noise personally, is going to advance a little bit and investigate. He's also got scanning protocol, so perhaps using that, he can pinpoint an exact location. Blackwidow's going to move over to Titanium, and they're going to kind of talk about their options at this point. CJ, heeding the advice of his subordinates, will fall back.
Got it covered.
And CJ has pretty much stopped issuing commands, so people are in fact looking to Titanium, the highest ranking soldier, for their rules of engagement. Okay, Boot is going to initiate scanning protocol. And the noise in question is coming from within the UFO. It seems like it's a Muton and a Viper, judging from those shadows. Let's see, Boot, well, he'll go into Overwatch. There's no reason he should do this alone, even if his job is merely to lure the enemy out of the UFO. Vane will fall back to this stone wall.
Affirmative, covering now.
Let's see, Blackwidow will head over to the squad leader and look after Seejay's injuries. Not that Blackwidow's a medic, but he's a concerned party. Speaking of the medic, Titanium's gonna move over to this door, open it. He will urge both Seejay and Blackwidow inside, and Titanium is essentially covering them as they make entry.
Scanning. I've got movement here.
Boot is hearing additional noises. Okay, so Blackwidow will follow his squad leader in,
Heading out.
with the aim of protecting him.
Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch.
Boot is gonna encroach a little bit further.
No problem, boss. Overwatch.
And now that everyone's inside, well, except for Vane, but he's close enough,
Getting it done.
Titanium is gonna rush to the aid of Boot.
On Overwatch.
And essentially the game plan is much as it was at the beginning of this op.
What was that sound?
Boot and Titanium are going to attempt to lure these enemies out and hopefully lead them right into some heavy firepower provided by the rest of the squad.
Moving to Overwatch. Come get some.
And Boot will inch ever so much closer.
Seems doable. Come get some.
Meanwhile, Titanium is doing his best to catch up.
Time.
As to Vane, he's gonna go inside as well.
Got it covered. Affirmative. Cover.
Everyone else is in Overwatch.
Out there.
More of a clatter from inside the UFO.
I'm on it. Got it covered.
Boot's gonna move up to this doorway,
Affirmative. Covering now.
and Titanium will join him on the other side.
Come get some. I'm on.
Everyone else is strictly Overwatch and waiting.
Affirmative. Covering now. Scanning.
Okay, it's time to open up this door. Titanium does just that.
Scanning.
As to Boot, he's gonna take a few steps inside. And there they are, right around the corner. Certainly they see Boot. And folks, it's on. Boot is, well, actually, let's have Titanium fire at the Viper. He does a modicum of damage, pretty good damage. And Boot, he's gonna fire at the same Viper. It's a brave move, considering he's exposed. But it pays off, the Viper's down. Nonetheless, Boot remains exposed to that Muton's attack. The Muton closes in. He takes a swing. Oh hell. Boot is stunned. Basically kneeling there on the ground and at the mercy of that Muton.
On Overwatch.
But the squad just waits. They wait for a signal from Titanium or Boot that may never come. Charlie will complete this objective, but it's a matter of whether or not they sustain a KIA.
Got it covered.
Titanium has gone into Overwatch, essentially waiting for that Muton to make a move. And the Muton does. Titanium lines up a shot. He scores good damage, but it's not quite enough. The Muton is still on its feet. It's issuing return fire. Luck is a lady. It's a miss, and that gives us a fighting chance of getting through this with no deaths. Boot has struggled to his feet.
I can handle
He
it.
staggers over to a position behind the Muton. An excellent flanking position, and the Muton's down. That may be it, folks.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Indeed, that is it. Mission accomplished. Damn, Charlie. Not bad at all. From my perspective, from my vantage point, that was an interesting operation. It was Vane's first time in the field, and for a rookie, it's pretty ballsy to be like, I don't care about the Colonel, I'm not wearing his damn helmet. And then you had Bard, basically fighting in honor of his fallen friend Zombie Wolf. And boy did he fight. 2 of those sniper shots were one-shot kills. And then you had Seejay, actually ceding some of his squad leadership authority. First to Blackwidow and then Titanium. And yet I don't think he regrets it. It paid off. Having said that, Seejay is definitely wounded. I have plenty of time in the infirmary to consider this operation's, lasting effects. Nonetheless, everyone came home. The objective was accomplished, and that's what matters. Now, we brought back a lot of good gear, as you can see, so this whole affair was worthwhile. And Blackwidow is no longer shaken. And a reminder that we're low on scientists. Well, we know that. We'll do our best to procure more. Now back to the geoscape. Still have that supply drop. And, there we've got word of a scientist. Well,
Avenger plotting new course.
that's where we're going. We're gonna try to pick up this scientist here. So we'll initiate the scan. And the Skulljack project is complete. Let's, we definitely look forward to using that. I guess there's really nothing to check out. But you know, we could get started on yet another proving ground project. There is that alternate effort I wanted to look into, and that was none other than plasma grenades. So yeah, we'll initiate that.
We'll get started right away, Commander. I'll send word when the project...
And there's always that serpent suit, too. I don't know about that one. Either way, while we're spending supplies, let's visit the Guerrilla Tactics School, and, I want to get this, wet work thing out of the way. It basically offers the troops more experience. As we're hiring raw recruits this late in the game, we're gonna need them to level up fast. And so, wet work will come in handy. And you know, I think this is about where I want to conclude this episode. I'm pretty pleased with what happened down there in Chile, both in the last mission and in this one. And I'm looking forward to the next. I do hope you'll join me for that. As always, this is Automatic for Automatic Games. I appreciate you watching. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I will talk to you soon, friends.